in the jet seat. I like seeing those, see how fast people can actually go.
I hope you didn't just jinx it, but we'll see. What do you think will have the starting weapon for today?
I like seeing Cane of Burner strats. It's a good way to see magic consumption and where's everything going, you know?
Looks like we're starting. Let's see what Uncles is giving us today.
Just 300 rubies to start off, which is good, so maybe we'll get an early Zora play.
Yeah, let's don't have worry about rupees from Kakariko.
As they make their way to Uncle, let's see what we're gonna get. It's gonna be interesting here.
Weapon of choice is King of Samaria.
Well, it's not Burner, but it's one of the canes, all right. So let's some people like to throw, some people like to push. Let's see what the different strats these runners do. They're both making their way down into the basement. I see a lot of, they like to do a throwing technique, which is good. So if you can throw it and then explode it on the enemy, you might be able to get 2 shots in at the same time.
And they are hitting on some of the guards, hoping for elusive bomb drops on them.
Yeah, not getting a bomb in escape is sometimes you don't remember to come back right away and you might lose out on something. So giving a bomb during escape is always good. And they get the fire rod. That's great.
Yeah, it's a faster weapon than King of Samaria, but it's also more taxing on the magic. You only have 8 fire rod shot on 4 magic, and I think on their current magic, Zelda have 4 and Durand has 7.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna save it to use on the ball and chain guard in the basin. That would be an easy way to get around him.
Nothing other than fire rod so far.
But it's good. Having 2 weapons up in front is a nice way to really have versatility in where you're going.
It's interesting that despite using fire rod, Durand is now having more magic than Xelnas.
Yeah, Zelda uses a few more Cane of Burner shots trying to kill some of the guards, so he had a little less magic than Durand has.
Yeah, there are pots in sewer contain small magic. It's useful when you are planning to farm some ropes with Samaria or Fire Rod, like he's doing right now. And ropes has some small mag drops as well, so do one get one free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's your bomb. No need for farming today. It's in a chest.
That's a great way. Now we can not have to worry about coming back. And poor Xelnas did get a bomb drop, so he's going to have 4 coming out of escape now.
4 is just enough to clear out Kakariko and escape, so it's a good number to have. Well, enough until the racing game has something worthwhile, that is.
And they get their first sword and an extra heart, which is great. Now they have a sword and 2 weapons. It should be have a little bit more easy way of doing things.
And just in time, because they are running really low on magic on both sides.
Early sword is definitely very nice to have. Remember my last seed, I didn't have a sword until almost an hour into the match.
Ouch. So as late arrive on Sanctuary without a bow, it's very likely they are both going to Kakariko and maybe visit the Lost Woods and the Lumberjack Cave to see if Eggman is required in that regard.
Absolutely, and if you saw that tree pole had bombs in it, which is really nice. Now they got a little bit more bombs for Kakariko and further on. But Durand did skip the lumberjack, so he's not gonna have a look and see what's under there yet.
Yeah, there's a school of thought that you don't care about what's in Lumberjack until you have the boots, because you cannot actually get them without the boots, so why bother checking it so early?
Though Xelnas just did, but I wasn't sure. I didn't catch what was in there.
Me neither, that was a little too fast.
Chat is saying it looked like it was Bo, so if it was Bo, we might have a Agaseed on our hands here.
Yep, so we're looking at if that's the bow, we are looking for a cape, another sword, and a lamp. And the boots before we are going to Eggman to claim that bow.
Durand's in blindside. Let's see what he has here in his basement so far. A bit 20, 50 rubies, a piece of heart, and the shovel. Alright, so we have a fetch quest right away.
Well, it's interesting because they can now route in the shovel spots right after checking the library and the racing game.
Absolutely, and they also just got another 300 rubies, so this is a very plentiful seed so far on rupee counts.
And next up we have Kakariko Well. Let's see what's in here. We got a lot of money so far, but not much progression. But we do have the filters. Is this pointing us to Zora?
And the boots! We got the boots now, so now we just need lamp and Well, at least Lamp and Moon Pearl before we can do Aga, and maybe a cape or another sword.
We don't need Moon Pearl to do Aga, because if we just want to do Aga to unlock Lumberjack tree, we don't need Moon Pearl. We just save and quit right after arriving on the pyramid.
It's true. It's just a nice item to have. You can go right. You can go wrap in pod maybe right afterwards if you don't want to go right and get the bow. Well, you would want the bow before you go into pod, so extract that. And another 100 rubies, so maybe once they get the bottle, it would be good to get some safeties and some goos.
Yeah, maybe some red goods from almost every shop. The witch's hut is a little too far away from here, or maybe they can use the swimming portal to arrive there, but that's also time consuming. So bombs on library and a car container on the racing games. Durand is going to clear neither and going to check the shovel spot right now.
Though Xelnas is going right for the racing game, so maybe he will get that heart container.
Digging out more bombs. Jonas used a bomb to open the race again. I think you can bonk that, so it might be faster to bonk, but you don't usually have boots so early. This is looking like a good seed so far. Well, Agon Inquiry, I'm not sure it's good, but we have boots.
Yeah, at least they can get around as faster, so. Let's see what's going to be soggy at the bottom of the dam here. Just a bit 20, so I don't think they're going to get there with all the money they got already in the seed.
So we're looking at the guaranteed Agon seed right now because Bo is on Lumberjack, but they won't be doing it until they found the entrance and the lamp. So where do you think the lamp will be?
Well, we haven't got a map check yet, so we don't know which dungeons are pendants or crystals, but making an early Eastern play might work out. It could be an Eastern before their dark room.
That sounds evil. A guaranteed Eastern double T by logic, or you do dark rooms in Agnon?
I've had some rough seeds, so my mind just goes there.
Nothing in mid-modern so far. Durand, I think, is going for the Hobo and Zora domain. That's silver arrows on Lake Hylia Island.
That might be an item they go back for. I know I probably would, but these runners might be a little bit more better caliber than I am, so maybe they won't, but that's something that's definitely accessible to them once they get the mirror and the Moon Pearl, obviously.
Mini module evading Zelda's bombs, so he opts to do the swords now. Oh. Moon Pearl from Hobo. So we might actually looking at going to pod after Aga now.
Alright, Durand's making his way up. He's gonna go check what's in the wishing well over here.
And we had a match check. Eastern is blue pendant and desert and Hera both regular crystals.
Zora's Ledge is a Master Sword. There we go. There's our access minus the lamp.
Well, if lamp is, as you said, the Eastern, this is going to be an evil seed wanting you to double dip Eastern or do Ganon stock route.
And the glove. So now we have a little bit more progression going on here.
Well, we're just another glove or hammer away from the for Dark Room access, so Aga might be delayed if that's the case. And we still need lamp for Death Mountain, but Durand can sequence break up there.
Yeah, he could, but he's probably gonna check Bonk Rocks right here, and maybe the lamp's in there. Just more money. And it looks like Durand's probably going to make his way over to Saharashala and to Eastern, probably. So maybe Eastern does hold the lamp.
Yeah, I'd rather do Eastern a couple more times compared to doing against Dark Room. That's one of the that's the hardest Dark Rooms in the game. Someone said Meyer and Paul, they always forgot Egan has Dark Room because we don't think about it. That's too stressful to remember.
And I think if nothing else is available besides finding maybe Flute to get up to the mountain, it's only Eastern and then Agina's cave that's left in Logic.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like Zelda is following Durand's footstep now.
Well, the seed has really been linear. It's been pushing them pretty much in the same direction. So maybe once we get Dark World access, we'll have a little bit of divergence, if not the same routes. And the book, so that can make a desert now accessible. And actually, nope, no, they have a fire swap. It's completable, so that's a crystal that they complete.
Yeah, and Agina's cave is going to be more comfortable checking with desert than just going there.
Alright, that's 2 of the items so far in Eastern. I think if my calculations, there's only 1 more. There's 3 items in Eastern.
Yeah, the ideal scenario is the next chest is going to have the big key and the big chest has the last item. They can avoid the big key chest if that's the case.
Which it is the big key, so let's hope that the last item is in the big chest.
Just a map, so they have to still go a long way. And that also means the lamp is not here, because coming up is the dark room. So we are looking at lamp in desert right now.
And so this means whatever they find in here, if it's a progression item, is out of logic. So maybe this will lead them in another direction.
Or it could just be another 20 rupees.
And as this seed's going, it's very well might be.
Durand going through the dark room elegantly and fast.
And last item is on the boss, so we're not going to find out what's in Eastern most likely.
Zelda setting up a death warp to go back to the start of dungeon, or just a save and use this as a save and quit.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going. Did he not get this first chest in front? No, he did.
And according to Tracker, he's still on Fighter's Tour, so he either did not see the Master Sword on Zora Legend or did not get it. This could be huge if that Master Sword is our Aghanim entrance.
Alright, now he saves and quit, and he'll make it that way down to desert. He forgot to get the right chest.
Desert is looking banana so far, and Zelda is going back to Zora's domain. I think he know he forgot the sword or something.
Yeah, he probably figured remembered the sword being on the ledge and he forgot it, so he's heading his way back up, which is good. And there's the Titans myth, so they now have Dark World access, so we might not see Aghanim for a while now.
And Lamp could be absolutely anywhere now in the Dark World.
And that's now the last item in Desert.
Yeah, but it's a crystal. I will beat it.
Now, I'm not sure if they checked what's on ledge, but I'm sure we'll get a ledge check here. Maybe not. Maybe they saw it already, so...
So now that we know that Bo is in Lumberjack Cave, making Aghanim required, and Lamp can be anywhere in the Dark World, this seed is looking more trolly.
And chat telling me that the ledge just had a heart piece, so I'm not going there. But we are getting in a Gina check from Xelnas here. Just a bit 20.
That's not enough magic to light the torch with fire rod. Oops.
She could route it back, especially if Meyer is also a crystal. She can do the Meyer desert combo.
Yeah, totally. It's just the lacking of magic and it only has fire rod just doesn't go into on your mind until it actually happens.
Absolutely, and we'll see if we get a map check here.
And we do green pendant in Skullwoods, red pendant in pot, and 5-6 is vanilla.
Yeah, a nice long check here, probably writing it down, which is good. But now, if Pod's a pendant, it does have a lot of items in Pod, and actually, once they beat Aga, it is beatable.
And that means Ball is only needed for Ganon's Tower. While Lamp cannot be in Ganon's Tower because Mystery Mire is a crystal, but so we're really looking at anywhere in the world right now.
It does make you start to think now what's available on pedestal. Obviously, Ice Rod is always available because it's only needed to beat Trinex as a crystal. But the Khalif, maybe one of the other medallions might be on the pedestal.
Well, that's the hook shot, so that dark Death Mountain sequence berry is looking more and more appealing.
And Xelnas took a death probably to replenish his heart before he makes his way back.
But his magic doesn't look good either. He will need some magic drop on the ropes, or he will also run into the not enough magic problem on the torches.
Hellway here giving Durand a problem. I hate that room with a passion.
Oh, he got a small magic pot drop under a pot. So I think his magic is good now because there's another small magic under pot in this room. I think they make it just enough.
And there you go. Barring a death, Xelnas will take the first crystal in front of Durand.
Durand got a timely heart refill from that heart piece in Thieves Town. Those critters do a lot of damage for in dungeon only number 4.
Yeah, the damage output once you make it to Dark World is actually like almost, I would think, double from regular enemies. So getting, but she does have the blue mail, which helps out in that regard.
Yeah, and to think the blue mail was in Ice Plus of all places in Vanilla. Dark World really is a hard place to get around in Vanilla.
Durand just realized they don't have the hammer to go check the big chest. Now, I wasn't counting items, so I'm not sure what's available yet.
Yeah, I wasn't counting either, but we'll see if he has the map and compass on the coming up menu. Or he'll just use the sword.
Trying to set up for the easy blind fight. It is scripted, so if you do know the way the battle goes, it's easy to try to beat him before he goes down.
He messed up script, but I think he will face things through it.
And looked like Xelnas did check the tomb and it only had 10 arrow upgrade. Xelnas looks like he is doing the sequence break up to Death Mountain.
He cannot do, he changed his mind. Realizing he doesn't have any assets other than the old man and the safe quick point and the spectral rock cave.
It looked like Durand was about to go get Jeremiah the Frog and put him on a tour, but forgot the shack.
Jonas is checking the skull woods first, finding the big key on the first chest.
And actually, they have everything to complete Skull Woods. So, barring Mothula being a pain, they still can actually beat Mothula and get another crystal.
Well, skull woods is green pendant, so I'm not sure whether they want to do it or not.
Right, that was my fault. It is Green Planet, but that does open up another item at Sarashala.
Thus, Jonas taking a death in bumper room on his way back to a door.
Old Stumpy did have the red mail, so that is a nice safety that they're getting along the way. And before we get a hype cave check here from Durand.
So Durand is already on red mail while Jonas is still on green.
A whole lot of hearts and the hammer in Hype Cave. I say that's a little bit hype, alright?
Yeah, any progression item is hype for me, but it could be more. But the question still remains, where is that lamp?
Let's see if it's on Pyramid. We're gonna get a Pyramid check here from Durand.
Looks like we are going to see if pot is Bollock or not. They don't have a bottle, so they cannot use the bottle goods to get to the Bollock side.
So true, and it looks like Xelnas took another death.
I think this time it's a death warp.
It was. But lots of death warps do add time, so hopefully it will work out later on.
Zelda is not going to finish Monster just yet. I think that's because he got both items in here, but I don't know what he got.
Now, pod dipping is definitely a play. There is 5 items, but like we said, it could be Bollock, but pod is one of those places without the mirror can be a little bit arduous.
Yeah, but if Durand wants to strictly stay in larger, there isn't a lot of chests he can check as of yet.
He is heading towards the back, which is a good play with the key he has there. We'll see what the bottom rooms do have, but then again, it is also a dark room, so if they do hold anything, it will be another sequence break.
Well, let's mirror. So pod routing is getting better now.
Right after I said it, I gave him good luck here with that.
Another small key means if he wants, he can do a dark maze or do the harmless hellway. You know, this part of pod is only in logic if the first 3 chests, which is the one on the left side at start, the one on the bridge, and the one on the basement which appears after you press the switch, are all small keys. So that mirror is not guaranteed to be in logic yet.
And looks like we're getting a hammer jump try from Durand, which makes, I think, routing the maze just a little bit easier.
And saves a small key, which is the most important part. So when he mirrors, he can check both the vanilla big key chest and the drop chest on the same go.
Having a little bit of trouble trying to find that last chest up in the left-hand corner. It is it is annoying to navigate in this little maze, but gets it and I don't know what might have just came out of that.
Might be the map? Yeah, he's going to use the key he saved now to open the vanilla big chest door. So that's good routing from him. He now only has the big chest and the hammer sword left in pod, and I don't think he will want to do either. So with that chest not being a small key, the mirror he got here is not in logic yet.
No, but it looks like he is making his way back to the big chest because we do have items still available here. I believe there's that chest, the chest here, and one more chest on Bollock's side. So that's 3 chests to do, and one's gonna have a key. So there are a few items left.
And he's going to need to hammer jump again. And he decides against it.
And Zelnus is in Thieves Town, picked up his hook shot, and will be able to make his way to the same play he wanted to do earlier, realizing he didn't have that item. It looks like Durand is making the play up to the mountain. We're going to have another sequence break up there without the lamp.
Nor the flute. So if found a flute here, we know lamp is not on Death Mountain. But I think as this is likely a full clear on Death Mountains, that isn't a lot of information.
And chat's making a point that having the mirror after Aga and Bollock pod required for Swamp means this is real trolley seed.
Oh yeah, mirror in that place means it's also left lock and or bow lock. So that at least diminish some possibilities here.
Looks like the old man had the Quake medallion, so it's looking like we might not need to worry about medallions for both Turtle Rock and Meyer unless they both have bombos. And Digging Game had the 5 bomb upgrade. And here's our first look at Paradox Cave.
Nothing so far. Jonas is going to turn take the far on the world tour before returning him home. No. Durand sequence broken part to find the. It's not exactly sequence broken break, but he only has 2 keys and used the key to the back side and found the mirror here. So that mirror is not in logic yet. Yeah, as just said, use the pod key in the good order.
It was just bombs on Floating Island, and we look like we are going to get a Turtle Rock pendant check here.
And it's quick.
Now, if I was Durand, I probably would have opened up Quake so he didn't have to do it again, and if he actually wanted to, could have dipped in there. And for me, I find that Turtle Rock does have items in trolley locations a lot, especially down the end.
Well, the laser bridge is not yet in logic, so I understand the choice not to go in just yet, and he has mirror, so he can mirror back to open it whenever. Maybe after this hookshot cave and super bunny cave.
Agreed, and we did get Mushroom, so there's another fetch quest for us.
Zelda's giving us the catfish check.
He's going on a nice long tour, showing Jeremiah to the whole world here. Which is actually not a bad play since he's gonna have to save and quit anyway, and that's the way he can return the breadsmith home. So it's actually a nice routing by him.
Yep. Meanwhile, in Spiral Cave, we found the blue boomerang. And I think he's going back up to check. I think it's a hero or turtle rock.
And while he's up there, he's probably gonna check Ether Medallion location as well.
I'm not sure if the entering that portal is intentional, but it doesn't really waste that much time at all, so it doesn't matter. What did the backsmith give? I missed that.
I missed it also. Just bombs at Ether. And Xelnas is making an Ice Palace play here.
It's open since the mid, so it's really interesting play.
I know most runners dread going into Ice Palace, but I find that going there early sometimes gives you the edge.
Yup, but it's always dreading to fight Coaster with Master Sword only, and no health magic or bumbles, nor not even a bottle.
So it's going to be an interesting way around here. And we get the Fish of Pride sealed in the Moon Pearl chest up in Tower of Hera.
So Mordon either has our second item or it's in basement. The land could be here in Ice Palace. I think it can be anywhere other than Swamp right now because that mirror.
And nice Moldorm fight from Durand there, avoiding the fall. You know, he can be really trolly. Knocked me down a few times the other day in my practice seat.
Looks like we have an item in the basement. Jonas doing the Ice Palace bump jump. Didn't quite make it.
And after that, he is just going to do it the normal routing.
Yeah, with hookshot and King Buster Mario, you don't need to do the bump jump. And he is running out of parts.
And smart move there. He used the hook shot to pull the heart to them. He gets the chance of one heart filling two.
And hookshot for whatever magic it has got iframes during using, so avoiding a fireball that way as well. Durand is back to Village of Outcast as he's checking a north part of Dark World, including Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb.
And just a bit 20 up there, and he's going to check now and find out that he is going to have to beat Aga at some point because he's finally going to do the lumberjack check.
Here's our lamp in Ice Tea Room.
That means that everything that we've said so far is back in logic, and it just means that Xelnas is gonna have to make his way over to Pond at some point so he can get the mirror so he can go into Swamp.
Yep, everything is back in logic now, including Death Mountains, Ball, and everything in between. Now, whether that get Xelnas any time, it depends on how long it took Durand to go to Ice Palace. Or is he doing dark rooms in Aga Tower or whatever else?
Very much. And these runners are basically doing the same thing that each other are doing, just in different order. We'll see if Durand actually goes to Ice Palace. So they're actually very close to each other, I think, in run wise.
Looks like Durand might be challenging the Aga dark rooms. Let's see how well he does this. This can make or break this race.
This can make a huge lead for him if he can pull the dark rooms off. I know I can't. I've never tried it. So more power to him if he pulls it off. Chad is wondering what Xelnas is doing. I think he's going back to the beginning so he can get more. He needs more magic in order to beat Cold Stare.
And he wants to get to the big chest, I think. Now with Spiral, there are torches in Aga Tower in some of the dark rooms, so he can use it like right there to help.
Smart play by them. Help him out immensely.
He has red mail, so he's just space tanking the guards towards the door.
Xelnas did pull off the bomb jump this time around. Good for him.
I'm not sure which room he's in.
I think he was in the room with the open wallways.
Oh, that one. I think that's very close to art itself, but it's one of the hardest room there. So Durand bails out. Smart choice rather than bending your heads against it, essentially without any safety whatsoever. He could have used Ether to freeze the guards, but we don't think that much when we're in a panic like that.
And a very timely piece of heart for Xelnas in Ice Palace. That piece completed, and now he has a full heart container going into Cold Stare, which does hit a lot if you do get hit by him. So very well placed item there.
And he can now use the swarping trick to melt the shell in less than 8 fire rod shots. It might not work, but it's going to be interesting to look at, and he opts not to do it, so he don't have any fire rod for the puff itself.
He's starting the long, arduous spin strats for Cold Stare here. He's got to watch himself, not get him stuck in the corner.
Meanwhile, Durand is going to swamp. Might not be the best play for it, but we'll see what's inside.
Well, Swamp is a crystal and does have 6 items in it, so it might be a play to think of to get items. And Illness does get Cold Stare down. Very nice fight by him. You would have to think, I hope that Zelnus makes his way to Pod soon, so he can get that mirror.
Well, here's your Ice Rod, so Turtle Rod is now beatable. I hope he does not. I really hope Durand goes to Ice soon, because it looks like that lamp is still going to need it, because that dark hallway in the Aga Tower, I don't think he does that.
Also, Dark Rooms in T-Rock is not fun as well. Well, we
So,
see.
you go.
I was saying we're finally seeing Zelnus make his Death Mountain play that he tried to do earlier, so he'll get some of the items that Durand finally got.
Not seeing much still, but he will be getting the Tower Hera Crystal.
Which will put him at 3, and then after Durand beats Swamp, he'll have 2, so it'll still put him a crystal ahead of Durand.
And Durand just waste a minute or two doing the Aga Tower to no avail, so I think Zelda has a little lead here. At the moment, we are near 1 hour mark.
Both of them does have 1 up on each other, so until Zelnus makes its way to Pod so he can get the mirror, but it's going to make it a little bit easier for him because he does have the lamp. So both players are going to need to make it the opposite direction to each other, and eventually will converge. This might come down to a very close seed.
Well, if I was Jonas, I will do egg tower before going to pod to ensure I can float clear pod if I need it.
Very true. Durand is doing the left side of swamp, so we will get a full clear swamp without double dipping, which is always nice. I tend to always generally go to fight the boss and then go back in. I just seem I don't know why I like it, I just do.
Yeah, because there's a chance, not a big chance, mind you, that both map and combos are here in the left side. So it's always interesting to play that chance. Jonas is going to do Hero first and likely goes back for the Turtle Rock portal and to see if he can open up Turtle Rock. He doesn't have mirror, so he need to use that portal if he wants to open Turtle Rock.
Which is efficient routing on his part to remember that. I just realized I misspoke earlier. Xelnas already has 3 crystals done. He did Desert Palace earlier, so this is going to be crystal number 4. So he'll have 2 crystals up on Durand, so he actually has a substantial lead now.
Yeah, Durand didn't get a magic pot on the second to last room in desert. Doesn't have enough magic to light the torches, but he will come back when he does smite. So Lemos itself is not that long of a sequence, but it's there. And he did waste the first trip there.
And Durand is in the Argus fight, so we will see what he is holding if he has an item at the end here.
Did we see the big key of Swamp yet?
You know, I'm not sure. It's very possible that Argus does have the big key.
No, doing Swamp twice, like this, going back to left side has this advantage that if Argus has the big key, you have to do that regardless. It looks like Swamp Big Key is locking itself in the chest this time around.
And Xelnas took a fall to Moldorm. Very close. He was only on the last spin. But that's why we call him Trolldorm. But gets a nice pattern this time around.
Looks like Durand is
He's making the Ice Palace play.
yeah. So he will be happy to find his lamp here, and he can complete the egg tower for real this time. Now Jonas can open T-Rock. Do you think he will dive in?
He could be thinking that the mirror is in there, so we might see him dip in for a little bit. After he probably goes and checks Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, remember, Ice Rod is in Swamp, so that's behind the mirror, so...
Very true.
So I think the only protection item we don't know the location is the flute right now and the potential Mire medallion.
Which, if I remember correctly, with the pendants we have, could render flute on pedestal.
It totally can. Yeah, I think so.
I think that, besides Bombos, could be the only thing that's actually left on pedestal.
Yep, we have everything else, I think. Cape is not needed. And it could also be powder, but that doesn't count. That's just a fetch quest.
Well, it could be a fetch quest that leads to either flute or Bombos. Xelnas does make the dip into Turtle Rock, so let's see what these initial chests have here.
How deep do you think he will go? Do you think he will go all the way to Laser Bridge? That part is not yet enlarged, or he will death swap early.
With the caliber of these players, I think he could make his way. He probably does know Laser Skip, so he could make his way down there. We will yet see and find out. The only thing he couldn't check right now is Mimic Cave.
And try next itself. But that doesn't guarantee an item.
These make it to Change Shop's room, and one of the worst rooms, in my opinion, in the game. Those guys can do massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, I think he can take 2 hits, but the third hit will kill him.
He did play it safe there, which is very good for him. And I did notice they do not have any of the safety items. There's no cape and no burner yet, so they will take damage and not be safe in the long run.
Yeah, the only safety we have currently is the red mail and a bottle found in Swamp by Durand, which is the only bottle we have right now, so Sick Kid is likely also behind that mirror, which is strange if you ask me.
Yeah, it looks like that mirror could have been the trolley item in the seed if you did not go to pod early.
So apparently the body sprite of Mega Man X is Dr. Light, the in the in the upgrade boost.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what the anti-fairies turn you into when you have different sprites. They're always fun.
So Durand just claimed his lamp. He was now just looking for the flute for his Schrodinger's Go mode, as my medallion is yet to be known.
And Xelnas is making his way to the back of T-Rock, so we probably will see a laser bridge check from him.
Meanwhile, Durand coming to Ice Pass after getting that lucky blue clue from Swamp. He will have no magic problem against Coast there, so he will save some time traversing the dungeon. I'd rather use the fire rush shot before refilling, but as long as you break a shell, it's alright.
Looks like first chest in Laser Bridge was the red boomerang. And Durand just going for the slashing technique instead of the spin strats. Just giving it to Colts there.
Yeah, but with red mail, the icicle doesn't really do much to you, so it's relatively safe doing that.
Xelnas did find a sword upgrade in T-Rock, so he now has the Tempered Sword. It's gonna make bosses a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, notably, the Argus fight is going to be faster with him. Now he's having a little. Oh!
T-Rock is the play. We are now in no mode minus Meyer Pendant.
And Durand looks like he's heading there right now, and he's going to save time over Zelda because he can clear this dungeon with that ice rodding, sequence broken ice rodding hand. So looks like that pot play is really big.
This is going to be an interesting finish here. We know where everything is at 1 hour and 14 minutes into the seed.
And yeah, that flute wasn't even in logic because we don't have laser bridge protection. So
Very true. This seed is filled with logic breaks.
is that going to be Eastern or part, the unchecked part?
Looks like Xelnas might be going to finish Mothula off with... Oh, nope, he's heading down. I was saying, with the Tempered Sword, makes it a little bit easier to fight.
I think he's thinking the lunchbox here. When Mirror is in there, it's always one of the trolliest things that can happen.
I keep forgetting that Skullwoods is actually a pendant, so he probably wouldn't go and fight Mothula. But we get the Cane of Burna in the Peg Cave.
Which does put Flute back into logic. So we are looking at a Go Mode Mire and a Go Mode Ega Tower here from Durand.
We're getting the Mire location check here from Xelnas. We will officially know if we are officially in no mode or not.
And he didn't even show it to us. Just straight to the shed. It's either we are in no mode, and Durand is going to be in go mode after the blue, but he wouldn't know that yet. But I think the first thing after he got the Trinex down is Flute Clear.
Xelnas does not have enough magic to open Mire, so he's gonna have to make his way back.
So the situation now is after 7 crystal, we're going to climb Agnes Tower and then Ganon's Tower. If I were to run, I would roll myself like that. Xelnas is fishing for match drop. He's convinced Mirror is in here.
Xelnas just makes his way to Pod. Wish it upon him to get to Pod so he can finish off.
Well, to be fair, the most of Pod is Bola with only 2 keys in the first 3, but if it does have them, and if he uses his key wisely, he can get all he needs.
Durand is able to do Mimic Cave also with the lamp here, so we will see what that has to offer. And we're gonna get a fake powder check from Xelnas.
So about fake powder, if you use King Samaria when you're out of magic and immediately switch mushroom, the game will think you have used powder. It does not have to use on the magic bat, but it's the most useful here because you want to have some magic.
And it is the Butter Sword, so he has the final sword, making all the bosses much easier. That could be a plus in his favor.
But Durand is getting his temper store here in Turtle Rock. So as far as final gauntlet goes, that didn't make getting that much of an advantage.
Xelnas is making his way up to aggro, which will probably push him towards pod, will make him finally be in go mode.
Yeah, his common item will be Ice Rod from Swamp Pass, which I think he will immediately go to after he found the mirroring pod.
Precisely what I meant.
Durand open the safety door. Good play if you are not convinced in your laser skips. So at 1 hour 21 minutes 45 seconds, Durand is in. We know he's in go mode, but he himself doesn't.
Once he picks up the bow after Aga, that is.
Well, I define go mode as in he doesn't need to check any more chats. He knows everything he wants is. So I'd call that go mode myself, but everyone's had different definition of that.
Alright, we're gonna see a Trinix fight with only 3 hearts. I think even with Red Mail, one hit from Trinix will kill him.
He's doing the ice head first because the fire won't linger on the ground, but ice will.
He's gotta be really careful here.
Running out of magic!
He doesn't have magic with him. Oh. He should have probably took the death and went back. He probably forgot that he had the safety door open.
Well, which means Turtle Rock will be his last crystal now, instead of 5th. And he also doesn't have enough magic to open Mire, but with all the money he has, he will. I would go buy some potions before going there.
We'll see if Xelnas, after Aga's fight, will head over to Pod before getting the bow. Either way, it would be the right way to go. If I was him, I think I would get the bow first before heading that way, because he does have the flute to make it a little bit easier of a travel.
Yep, purchasing those potions. Remembering just in time he will need those magic to open Mire, use the blue goo right now and buy another.
Which Xelnas is making the play up to Lumberjack. We will finally get our bow. And when I would bet that after he gets the bow and gets the mirror, he will probably make his way to the island to get his silvers.
Durand, I think, is going for his revenge on Agnes Tower first. Oh, wait, what?
We might be getting a head check from Xelnas here.
Yeah, in his mind, the mirror can still be on pedestal.
A bottle on Ped.
Which for him is like seeing a powder on Ped, because he still yet to have a bottle.
We need to will pod on him. Will pod on him. Make the way down the pod. And have magic from the mushroom. That's gonna make things a lot easier on his behalf.
I think he wants something else though. He's not happy with what he got.
I think it was a little frustration, meaning he could have went here earlier and he would have had enough to go into Mire.
Ah, and that too. It's really strange to not see a bottle 1 hour 27 minutes into a seed.
Most definitely. Well, we're gonna get the Mire play here. He doesn't know that he needs to go to pod, so he is going to full clear Mire. When Durand goes, he can easily go mode it.
Well, Gomo might not be that faster considering where the big key can be. I admit I didn't count how many blue balls Xelnas got, so we'll count here on Durand's side. Meanwhile, we get a sneak peek on Zelda's side what kind of Mire we're going to get. Not a God Mire.
Which might actually work out in his favor. So we'll see how many chests he needs to open to get that big key.
So that's 2 blue balls from Ganon. Let's see if he go check Mire first or get his bow first. he will get his bow first.
We might have Vanilla Big Key in Meyer. Let's see if it's coming out this way. And Durand picked up his bow. We are officially in go mode on Durand's side.
Well, he doesn't know that yet. He will know that very fast. He flew to Meyer, and which he does. And that, my friend, is a vanilla big key in Meyer. So much for the Gomo Meyer dream. And now he knows he's in Gomo. He will need to defeat Victorious and let Molus, and then try next, and then head up to Ganon's tower. He will not be getting the half magic unless he went to buy some potion and turn the mushroom just in case.
But that does mean that Durand is going to be able to do silvers against Vitreous, making it a much easier fight, although Xelnas does have the butter sword. So we'll see two different strats, maybe two easy fights, but I know silvers on Vitreous is much better. And Xelnas finds his first bottle in Meyer.
Well, at least he must be having a cycle relief, not having to do the pedestal for bottle of all things.
That's definitely got to be relief on his end. While we have a little row, if you guys like what you're seeing here, please give our runners a follow. They can always use your help. xelnasTV and Durand, they're doing an excellent job putting up an excellent run for you guys.
And if you want to see more races, remember to follow the Speed Gaming Network from No Number and 2 to 6 and ALTTPR randomizer, ALTTP randomizer from this channel, and you add the 2, 3, and 4. Those are the channels we are going to have randomizers on. And Speed Game Network also hosted a lot of other tournaments. So make sure to follow them.
It looks like we might see burner strats with dashing with Xelna's side for Vitreous here. He's gonna go slashing, because using slashing with burner makes the magic go down slower.
And 8 arrows toward the center, the big eye, and make sure it's down.
And another bottle for his troubles.
And this opens up Pyramid Fairy for him. So we might see him check that before going to pot, because it's en route. Going for the sick kid first. We didn't see. Did we see it?
Whole lot of love.
Yep, I think we're going to see the Big Bang and Pyramid Fairy before he has to pod. He's fluted to 4. Delveros tears through his eyeballs, getting his second bottle for his trouble.
This will be a close finish if you think about it, because Xelnas does have a crystal that Durand doesn't have, albeit it is only the Desert Palace, which Durand will do right now. So we will see how this goes.
Well, Zelnas is going to Gomo Swan, which is obviously very fast. And they both need to go through the third round again for try next. So yeah, this can be very close depending on how this Lemona's fights go and how fast Zelnas is going to find a mirror and enter his own and find his mirror. Yeah. Well, I say he can Gomo Swarm because Ice Rod is in the first chest, so he can Gomo the rest of dungeon, which is the slow part to check.
But he's finally making his way to pod, so let's see if he once goes in there, gets his mirror, and goes out to quickly go to Swamp Palace. That's what we need from him right away. Almost a one cycle from Durand with the silvers, but gets the last one on the second go.
Now he's going up the Death Mountain for one last time to take revenge on Trinex. That rocked. So we'll be seeing which time Durand entered the rock for the one last time to see how much lead he has. Jonas is taking the the long route and short routes because he now has everything he needs to full clear this dungeon. Unfortunately, this will delay the time he finds his mirror.
With Durand making quick work going back through T-Rock, he's gonna get to Trinex shortly.
And with that blue potion from Victorious in hand, I think we will have no problem in this time around.
They will have to revisit Laser Bridge though to get that final key. Never mind, he did open it because he died to Trinex. That's my fault for not remembering. Xelnas finally gets his mirror.
But I think he will still full clear the dungeon because he still won't let Ice run.
And it looks like Durand is going Fireside first this time around, just to get revenge on that Firehead.
Not fast enough to prevent Ice on floor though. But he has more health he can take a hit or two. Just last hit to get rid of the Ice Head. He doesn't need to use his blue potion here.
And he gets Trinex down. Very nice fight. And with that, we have our final crystal. That means he is making his way over to Ganon's tower. Here we like to play a game and see how many chests before we get the big key. There's 22 chests in Ganon's tower. What do you think is going to be the big chest this time around? How about you, Blasting?
Well, I usually just guess a random number, so this time guess 11.
My favorite is always to go with Bob's chest. Bob's chest is my favorite one to go with every time.
As usual, the first two free chests on right side first. We have a small key, so we can do right side. He wants to do right side, he can do it, and I think we'll see him. Wow! What was that?
What a play on his part. He opens the door and it's on the lamp. Oh my god, I've never seen that before.
Neither have I. Open the middle door is mad enough and see just right there on the torch after that. That's insane.
So it looks like Invictus, you guessed 3. You are the winner of where the item was. It's hope. We'll see how his gauntlet goes, but this is going to be quick. It's going to be his race to lose.
Yeah, rarely do I see people open the middle door.
He did not grab a second key though, so he's got to hope there's another key along the way.
There's a key on the mini helmet sword, so you only need to conquer a Ganon tower with one key. The other key is on a mini helmet sword with 2 chests. Just never climb this tower with no small keys. Meanwhile, Xelnas unfortunately clear out helmet sword, getting the pendant. And he's back to Eastern to go claim the last item on Armos before going to Swamp.
Right, Durand's making quick work out of these first rooms here. Even with Silvers, he's gonna have to watch his arrow count right now. He's gonna be down after 20 after this.
Well, there are parts with arrows in the next room. I doubt he'll get it, but you only need 4 for Ganon. But unless you miss. Samara a little bit too low for the wrist rope, getting on the second shot.
We'll see if he gets this room. This room's a pain. It has to be like but good second turnaround.
Missing the diagonal, I think it means he blows out the Samara block a little too early on the first shot. Jonas meanwhile beating up Armos, getting disappointed in what he gets, and he didn't even pick up the pendant.
I'll doubt we'll get these last checks for Durand, although we know there's no butter sword in it. He might want it just for Ganon, but we'll see.
Yeah, we don't have powder, so we can use those antiberry for refill here. And Jonas finally make his way in Swamp and going to find his Gomo item.
Making quick work of Moldorm here. He's gonna make his way up to Aga 2.
One last treasure before going up against Ganon 2. Now Fireheart is iffy against Ganon. There's a fairy below the pyramid he can grab, or he can just mirror back and flute for some potions.
Especially without half magic. Nice setup here. For a triple, great finish.
Yeah, that's a pretty free triple. And Zelda's closing in on that ice rod. At 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 45 seconds. Xelnas is in go mode and some frustrating slashes.
Durand's going in with just 4 hearts. We will see Ganon go down here, people. Get hype.
On red mail, this means 2 hits from the fire bats, or he can survive 1 hit from the bats, I think. That do 2 hearts on red mail. And he got a God corner for the second phase. He will end this phase in no time. 6 spins and that's already enough. He just need to dodge those bats now. And we're on to the third phase.
Very nice dodging on Durand's part there. And he was starting phase 3. It's gonna go right into phase 4. We're gonna get 4 hits hopefully, and Ganon will be down.
Well, that is until if Ganon stops teleporting. That's a torch glitch hit.
1 hit there.
A little too aggressive, taking a fall. Too aggressive, wanting to set up triple and get hit by the fire bat.
It's alright, he'll probably get this fairy. Here we go, fill up 6 hearts and head right back in.
He must be panicking right now. Little did he know he has all the time in the world at the moment.
He's gotta calm himself down. Get down, Ganon. Nice setup there.
This is a good place as well. I think he can get a few spins here.
Very good spot.
He managed to get all 6 spins. He's on to phase 3 after these bats.
Taking 2 bats to the face before starting this this phase, and Ganon being very trolly right now. He does not want to get hit by that tempered sword.
He has 2.5 hearts. He can take 1 more hit by the fire bats before needing to heal. Xelnas is going to claim his silver arrows right now before going up to the Death Mountain for Chinex. That was way too close.
Close one there, just missed out on getting hit by that bat.
Gets a double. A double takes down
And
Ganon.
down he goes.
So Durand finished with an official ALTTPR time of 1 hour 54 minutes 56 seconds. GG.
Spam your GGs, everyone. Durand gave an amazing seed. He was probably skinning in his boots after that fall, realizing he might be low, but he is finished. We'll see if we can get in here to commentate.
Meanwhile, Zelnas is also on his final stretch through the Turtle Rock. He will finish this dungeon and then climb the Ganon's tower as well.
Xelnas is almost back to Trinex.
Saving a little bit of magic, even though he has half magic already. Missing the starting spin, but with Butter Sword, Trinex is defeated fairly easily.
We shall see if Xelnas does the same play that Durand does in GT. Nonetheless, if he does the classic routing, he'll get those 2 chests and go to the left side. So we shall see how fast he gets to that big key on the torch.
Well, the latest he can get is number 7, so it still wouldn't be a long time spent on the basement.
And it looks like Durand is in the waiting room, so we will pull him in here for an interview. Durand, GG.
Oh, GG. Man. So many things went wrong. Just all over the place.
So you guys pretty much had classic routing in the beginning. Both of you guys in the light world, before you guys got dark world access, did pretty much the same thing. What pulled you ahead is that your pod play early to get that mirror. Xelnas did not get it until right after he fought Aga.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I thought it's kind of unusual to go into pod this early, especially as long as it takes without the mirror. And for it to be right in there, it's just crazy. So I thought hopefully that'd give me a little bit of an edge. But I kind of lost all hope when, I dove Aga 1 without a lamp. Didn't even realize I didn't have one. Just kind of jumped in and hoped I could make it through the dark. Retrospect, I need to watch out for that for sure. But yeah, it's my nerves were certainly getting to me. This is my first tournament match in Link to the Past or any game, so I'm really nervous.
Well, you did pretty well.
Thanks.
Yeah, good for you. Good first match. My first match, I had to forfeit. I couldn't find some of the chests. I forgot I died up on Early Death Mountain, and that's where the flute was that would open my seed. So nerves definitely can get to you, but good job conquering it.
Thanks. It's I've been practicing, but I keep feeling like there's always room for improvement. Like, and it's kind of obvious with this run. But yeah, worst places to die too. Right there at the boss each time, or forgetting you have no magic and trying to go in. Ugh, man.
Yeah, the magic situation is running low over I think twice, one in desert, one in Chinex.
Yeah, it's and that's a really tough fight too. I usually, if I have like regular magic instead of half magic, I like to start with the fire head just to try and, well, the ice head to try and keep the lag down, to try and make it so I can move a little better. And it just helps me be a little more careful with my magic. I don't know. It's something I used to do when I played the game as a kid. But yeah, as soon as I found that second blue bottle, I was like, no, I should be fine now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. Sorry, go ahead, Wes.
Just for the half magic is in which is hot. And
oh, wow. I could have gotten there so easily too, for sure.
Yeah, but you don't check anything after go mode as a rule.
True.
Let's talk about your GT. Did you intentionally go in that left door after getting that second key?
I was about to do right side, and I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, it's right there on the torch. I'll at least check that. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad I did that.
We were dying. We were like, I can't believe, we haven't seen that ever.
Actually, I think I saw, I think it was Pika Pals who did that once, and it turned out exactly the same way. The key happened to be on the torch, and it gave him a slight edge in the Key Sanity tournament. I think it was Pika Pals.
We have no words.
And how about that Ganon fall? How did you had to have felt awful after that?
Yeah, it's like I knew I could stay on there if I just slashed him and just held left as hard as I could, but nope, there comes the bat. Didn't think about that. Ugh.
All in all, it was a great race. Xelnas right now is just about to get to Moldorm 2, so he should be finishing very shortly. He did get the Butter Sword though. I forgot where it was, but he did find it.
That's on Matt Better. He fake powdered to get it.
Oh. Yeah, I'd seen the fake powder trick, but it's most of the time it just doesn't work out. So I end up just saying, you know what? Unless I'm right there and I can do it, I'm not gonna bother.
And Xelnas is throwing bombs over to the last chest in frustration.
Well, that was close. He almost bumped himself into a fall after Moldorm 2.
Oh yeah, you don't want that. I mean, I think, unlike the dungeon, Moldorm comes back in GT, but if you kill him in the dungeon, I think it just leaves whatever he had, like a crystal or a pendant, but you don't want to fall right there at the end.
And he's into his Aga 2, and from your Aga 2, you had that amazing setup for that last triple hit that we were like, wow. Again, I have not seen that setup myself, so I was very, very happy for you at that point.
Yeah, me neither. It's like, that is the perfect setup for Aghanim, for sure. And the balls were staggered just right.
As Xelnas just got the same one because of the seed, so he's going into Ganon right after this.
And he also has 4 hearts going into Ganon. Oh, wow, 145 collection rate. That's very low.
Yeah, I usually don't get it that low. It's I was surprised by that. Usually I have problems with. I keep thinking I have problems with routing because I'm collecting like 167, 170 or something like that.
Well, there's no big key hand, so that helps. That's already 20 something out of the way.
True, definitely. Not having to go through GT all the way.
Using King of Legma to do the slashes. He needs 6 slashes with his golden sword. He's on to phase 3.
With 1 heart left.
If you don't let Fire Red Spin come out, there's no danger here in phase 3.
The second time you went up to Ganon, how about that time? He did not want to be hit. It took like 5, I think it was 5 teleports before he was able to finally get hit. We were laughing.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, I just saw Xelnas's stream, and he just died. Eee,
Oh!
that's rough.
Missing the torch and get hit by the fire bat because the Ganon is not stunned.
At least he doesn't have to walk back up. There is that. But I think he'll get that same troll Ganon that I got. Pretty much punishment for not beating him. All the teleports.
Back to second phase. Pulling out Burma again. Back to hook shot. I think that's enough. Yep, to phase 3, and Ganon starts teleporting.
Yep, there he is, evading all slashes.
They say it's 50-50 for each teleport, so that at least the 1 in 512, I think. That's 9. Missing the torch glitch, but with Silver Arrow he can set up for a double here. Going to do the red silver list because reasons.
Just to throw a little swag at it.
Actually, he seems to be out of arrows, too.
Ah, yeah, out of arrows. I
I
think
did not notice that.
I didn't either. So with not how many spins would he need after like two or 3 silver arrows?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Doing silver list without torch glitch is very frustrating, as you can see here. And Ganon's down.
There he is.
I don't think that's quite 12 spins, but so I think those silver arrow actually counts toward the damage. GG to Zelda with an official SRTV time of 2 hours 11 minutes and 27 seconds. And looks like he's here with us. Hello, xelnasTV.
I mean, that's one word you could use. I don't think it would be correct, but yeah.
Tell us how you feel about that seeds on this GG.
I played like trash. That's about it. Seed was kind of fine. I just played and routed like complete trash.
So what were you thinking when you saw the bottle on the pedestal, when you had no bottle whatsoever?
I didn't think anything of it until I left, and it was like, oh wait, it's this. It's gonna be that's actually Ice Router Mirror, isn't it? It wasn't, because I found a bottle like 2 minutes later, so it was fine. But it did scare me a little bit. Yeah, I was. That's why I. The thing that tilted me the most was running out of magic at Mire, I think. Actually, no, it was just playing badly. But running out of magic at Mire, and then going to do Adonam's Tower. I didn't want to do that until the very end, because like I wanted to make that the last one I did, if possible. But obviously, I ran out of magic, so I'm like, well, I need a way to fill up my magic, and that was I had to do it anyway.
So what got Durand is that he did the early pod play and had the mirror early on.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew it. I knew that avoiding pendants as much as possible was gonna hurt me the most. So once I saw it was there, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then obviously I missed an item in Eastern. I missed the sword. I'm not feeling that great. So I just made a lot of mistakes, but that's fine. You have a lot of buffer in this tournament. I don't expect to lose 2 more. So.
Well, I said the same thing. I had to forfeit my first match because I took a death on early Death Mountain and forgot to go back, and so thought I did it and forgot I didn't. So, with the buffer that we have is definitely good. But you guys did an excellent race. It was a lot of fun to watch. You guys want to mention anything about the seed anymore?
No.
Overall, I don't think it was too bad. Just that one thing, the mirror being in pod was... I mean, most people wouldn't even want to go into pod. I just figured, well, I'm here, let's just go ahead and do it. Give it a shot.
Yeah, and logically, that mirror is behind the bow, so it's really big sequence break for the advantage.
I don't know about that. There were a lot of keys. Maybe they were all in the back, though. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it wasn't locked behind the bow.
There are 2 small keys and a big key in the first 3, and Durand opened the door to the back and claimed his mirror.
Yeah, I just didn't want to run out of keys before I ran into a situation where, oh, well, now I need the bow for whatever's left in here.
Yeah. I don't think that you could. I guess. No. That door is expected to be opened as well. So I'm pretty sure those are locked only behind 3 keys. I don't remember the logic very well, but I don't think that was. Wait, did I reset my emulator?
Yeah, it's 3
No, okay,
keys.
never mind. Nope, it's in the credits. I got a little worried. But yeah, either way, I hated my play there. I did not play very well. So.
If it makes you feel any better, I did similar things with magic. I went in to have the landmine fight, and I just got to the torches. I was about to light them, and oh no, not enough magic to use fire rod on this. Didn't have the lamp yet. All I could do was leave. And I'm like, okay, what else can I do? I don't have to go back in there. So, and I had all kinds of things like that. Died on Trinex once. Went in to fight Aga 1 in the dark. Didn't remember I needed a lamp. And just tried my best and ended up getting stuck for a while. Thought, well, that was a big waste of time. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to more of the tournament. I just hope I play a little bit better. I usually want to race earlier in the morning, but my opponent was unable to. And I don't hold that against you. Everyone has different time schedules.
Yeah, sorry about that. I
No
got
worries.
all kinds of things going on, so.
Oh, I understand. It's no worries. But definitely, I definitely have been trying not to race any later than 8 o'clock recently, just because of I've been feeling pretty poor lately. But thank you for the race. Good luck in the 1-0 bracket.
Thanks. I hope you feel better too.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm just, yeah, but yeah. I don't know. I thought I played it like trash that seed. So, but thank you for the GGs, and I'm glad that it was somewhat competitive looking, except for that mirror. So, I'm pretty sure if I had found that mirror early, the rest of my route in would have gotten worse.
Well, very well. Blastegg, you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, not for the seed itself, but coming up, as we're talking, there's a match on Speed Gaming right now. Hitaka versus Evil Sparky. So you might want to tune to that after we wrap it up here.
And please, these racers did an amazing job entertaining us today. If you get a chance, please follow them, xelnasTV and Durand. That's how these races go. Followers make sure that we feel appreciated and have a great time together. So please give them a follow.
And let's wrap it up here. So thanks for Speed Gaming Network and ALTTP Randomizers for hosting this tournament. And let's Speed Gaming 1-6 and ALTTP Randomizer 1-4. And make sure you want to give and follow if you want to watch more of these. So I've been Plastic.
Also, I'm Azrael Speed, and please thank and follow Rubric X7 for being our tracker this whole time, doing an amazing job tracking both these players. And we'd like to thank you for watching and hope you continue.
See you next night. And thanks Iceman for restreaming this race. We wouldn't have a race here without him.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you again.